very good afternoon to everyone. I, student of DME Media School, welcome you all to Vibrant India series episode 59. I also welcome our viewers who are watching us live on Facebook. Vibrant India series is an initiative of DME Media School for celebrating 75 years of India's independence. The series will be a year-long exercise. As part of the series, we invite inspiring personalities for online talk, interview, and interaction with our students. The invited personalities for the series are from all walks of life and from all parts of the country. And today, our special guest is Dr. Rajesh Bhat, broadcaster, media academic, and researcher, author of Radio Kashmir in Times of Peace and War. We welcome you, sir. I would like to take a moment and introduce Delhi Metropolitan Education to our viewers. DME is an A grade premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, New Delhi, and approved by the Bar Council of India. The institute offers BBA, BA LLB, BBA LLB, and BA GMC programs. DME believes in imparting world class education to its students while training them to develop and enhance their skills. This education and training enables them in taking up challenges for the industry and creating a space for themselves with their competence and vigor. The ME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes in the country. It offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty and students through academic and co-curricular activities. Major flagship events and initiative of school includes BG Varghese Lecture Series, Peer-to-Peer FDP, International Film Festival SIFI, International Conference ICANN, and Vritika, Convention of Media Students. And newly added in the list is VIS, Vibrant India Series. It is our privilege to introduce to you the personality of episode 59 of the VIS. Guest of the day is personality radiating knowledge and wisdom, Dr. Rajesh Bhat. He is PhD in Strategic Interests and Media from University of Jammu. He did masters in mass communication and journalism from Kashmir University. Dr. Bhatt did a specialized course in video production from Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. He has published of several research papers in peer-reviewed international journals, newspapers, and academic magazines. Dr. Bhatt is author of book Radio Kashmir in Times of Peace and War. He has worked in two leading English dailies published from Jammu and Kashmir, India, as a special correspondent. Dr. Rajesh Bhatt started his career as a journalist with Kashmir Times in March 1988 and later joined Daily Excelsior as a special correspondent, assistant editor. He has functioned as a senior member on the editorial board of Daily Excelsior. Dr. Bhatt contributed on art and culture for the Tribune, Chandigarh. Presently, he is working as a senior program executive, Directorate General, All India Radio, New Delhi. He has over 34 years of experience in both electronic and print media. Dr. Rajesh Bhatt has a vast teaching experience. I now request the technical team to show some glimpses of his life. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. It is indeed an honor to host you. I now request Dr. Susmita Bala, Head DME Media School, to welcome the guests.
Thank you, Shiksha. Welcome, everybody, to episode 59 of Vibrant India series. We launched this digital program in 2021 on August 9 on the anniversary of Quit India movement. And we presented episode 50 of this program this year on August 15, when India celebrated 76 years Independence Day. Vibrant India series is an initiative of DME Media School, Delhi Metropolitan Education, It is an online series to get inspiration from distinguished personalities. This program has been conceptualized and created by Professor Ambrish Saxena. Vibrant India series is a tribute to all those people who have made supreme sacrifices for the independence of our motherland. This program is a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a celebration on India completing 75 years of independence. Let us have a look at the eminent personalities who have graced the VIS during past 1 year. 8 personalities from the Defense Forces have participated in VIS till date. These personalities belong to the Indian Army, Air Force, and BSF. These include Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, Lieutenant General Vinod Bhatia, Dr. P.K. Saxena, Professor R.K. Dargan, Captain Dharveer Singh, Group Captain Ashok Kechordia, Mr. Virendra Kumar Gaur, and Squadron Leader Prerna Chaturvedi. 8 personalities from the education sector comprising education planning, teaching, and research have participated in VIS. These include Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, Professor K.G. Suresh, Dr. Nakul Parashar, Dr. Saurabh Ghosh, Dr. Sandeep Kumar, Dr. Dev Aikat, and Dr. Gurmeet Singh, and Professor Ruprekha Verma. 5 personalities from the journalism and broadcasting and entertainment sector have joined the VIS. From the social sector, 9 personalities, including 8 women, have participated in VIS. These include Dr. Monisha Behel, Dr. Mridula Tandon, Dr. Mridula Seth, Ms. Tripti S. Chingal, Ms. Vibha Lakhera, Ms. Bhavrin Kandhari, Mr. Vinu Walia, Mr. Meenakshi Gupta, and Sri Padmashri Jiten Singh Shanti. 7 personalities belong to art, theatre, and literature participated in VIS. 2 personalities from the field of law and human rights have praised the VIS sessions. 3 police officers have also participated in VIS. These include 2 former IPS officers, Mr. Amod Kant and Mr. Vibhuti Narayan Rai, Mr. Rajender Singh. 3 senior IAS officers have also graced the VIS, Mr. Ashok Pradhan, Mr. Vimal Julka, Mr. D.J. Narayan, and Professor Veena Sikri also participated in VIS. From the other fields, Mr. S.P. Rawal, Mr. Augustine Valeth, Sufi Sayyid Ajmal Nizami, Mr. Balindu Sharma Dadiji, Mr. Satish Saxena participated in VIS. Today, in episode 59, we have with us a distinguished personality, Dr. Rajesh Bhat, with us, senior broadcaster and author. Welcome, sir, in Vibrant India series, and welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'm really enlightened and happy to know that I have been part of this Vibrant India series. And the way you have presented it and you have been doing it, it's a great achievement on your part. I feel myself lucky enough to be a part of this 59th episode. Although I feel I'm not worth for it. As a common man, I'm a very
No,
small
sir.
in the field of broadcasting, but I feel a little bit of whatever I have been able to do in my life through the medium
Yeah.
of print or electronic media. I feel it's a little thing I have added to this profession where so many great and dynamic people have already worked. We are just trying to do a little bit in my humble way, and I have been doing it for the last 33, 34 years.
Thank you, sir. And thank you so much, ma'am, for listening out the galaxy of experts we have hosted till now in VIS. I now request Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Dean, DMA Media School, originator and ideator of VIS, to take the program forward. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shiksha. As the stage has been set for this 59th episode of Vibrant India series, and Rajeshji, if I can tell you, the way we have conceived the program, two, three things we had very clearly in our mind. Firstly, we were trying to reach out to people from all walks of life and from all parts of the country. To whatever extent we have succeeded, obviously, honestly speaking, we have not succeeded the way I planned. But then it was a gigantic task, not an easy thing to have 75 episodes and to find out the people. And it's not only the question of finding out good people, it's also the how to approach them, how to persuade them, and how to make them convinced. That was really a challenging task, but we have been somehow managing to do that. And as far as broadcasting is concerned, we have invited so many people from broadcasting sector, despite the fact that we try to incorporate people from all walks of life, but is still, since we are from media and media industry and media education, and DME Media School is a media institution. We impart education in journalism and mass communication. And in this session also, there are students from bachelor's degree of journalism and mass communication and teachers who are teaching media somewhere. We have more affinity towards media and media education. And that is how more such people have figured in this program, who are either working in the media, practicing it, or who are into media education. And right from Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary to Professor KG Suresh, all such people have been there,
Yeah.
part of a Vibrant India series. So that is how. And then there are certain things which are really remarkable, like when I went through your book on Kashmir, and since myself having this media background and have been in media education for so long, I know as to what Radio Kashmir means when we talk about the media of the entire country, its significance. So you really did a wonderful job by
Thank you
writing
very
a
much.
book on Radio Kashmir. So that was one great thing that you did. And in our lives, even if we are able to do one great thing, that's enough. How many people are able to 10, 20 great things in life? So now you have your own contribution in media and media education. Now, coming to this program, Vibrant India series, we have divided this program into four parts. In the first part is the introductory part, and then in the second part, we will request you to take it over and then narrate your own life journey for 15-20 minutes you can take. Wherein, I mean, when I request you to tell your life journey, that clearly means that whatever you have done in your life, whatever experience you would have gained, there might be certain such things which are worth narrating, which are worth telling to the younger generation, so that they get something from where they can take it forward. I mean, some point of inspiration, some point of motivation could be there. And obviously, anybody in his or her life, when you are working, you meet with so many challenges and all. So, but then everybody overcome those challenges. So the way you would have come across with whatever challenges you had in life, and you can have your anecdotes also, which could be interesting to the younger generation to listen to and to understand. So the whole objective of the program is that the younger generation should get some inspiration from the work that the seniors have done. That's the crux of the program. And in the third segment of the program, I will be requesting you to elaborate certain things that you would have spoken in this session, wherever I feel that you can tell us something more. And in the final segment, in the fourth segment, we will make this forum open, and then the students and the teachers, they will be putting up questions to you. So that's all about this program. Now, without wasting much time, I will request you, Dr. Rajesh, to please take it forward, take the program forward, and narrate your journey the way you want to take to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me a platform to speak something about my life. I have started from a very modest background, from a beautiful area that's called Kashmir, where I was born and brought up to 1989, before we were forced a mass uh, exodus. I was a victim of that, forcing some unforeseen reasons that had made us to move out of valley. But before that, I had done my all journalism and mass communication degree obtained, which I got from Kashmir University, which was a source of inspiration for me to take up this subject of journalism and mass communication and joining the profession also. Then I did a PhD from Jammu University in the same profession, because the reason for that was there are very few people who must have worked in a conflict zone and reported from that area. Since I had done exhaustive reporting in a conflict zone, you rightly said you must have covered many journalists in this program, but very few must have worked in a conflict zone like Kashmir, where it was very difficult for both for authorities as well as for journalists to work and to report. And then report the facts. That was more important, because they were being getting massacred in an area where rumor mongering was at its peak. And Radio Kashmir, as you rightly said, we had to project ourselves to give the right perspective, so that the rumor mongers are, they don't have a field day, and the real perspective of the government as well as the people concerned, they come to know about the real story. Because when a person works in a conflict zone, there are so many problems and inhibitions for a journalist to work also, and under so many threat perceptions, pulls and pressures, it's very difficult to work in those conditions. And rest of the world, you must have seen so many casualties taking place, where the journalist is forced to toe a particular line, or he does not toe a particular line. In the same situation, we had the same problem in Kashmir, where reporting, even for a print media or for an electronic media, it was extremely difficult under so many pulls and pressures. We lost so many persons, like Lasakol was one of the persons who had to lose his life because he wanted to keep the banner of the what we say, the independent media on together, which he was not allowed to do. And so many reasons were there that he had to retreat. Even the pressure was so much that even radio, All India Radio Srinagar, which we now call it, and Doordarshan Srinagar had to move their news units, both news units, out of Kashmir. That was the threat for from the militant for a journalist who were working there, irrespective of the fact. So in that case, what happened? The uh, your, uh, mm, the problem was that the reporting, which should have been done in an independent way, that was not possible. And then the worst part of the thing was that we had an enemy from across the border who was spitting venom against India through its broadcast, through its radio programs. Let us see it clearly, it was Pakistan radio programs who were creating more hurdle and more problems for the India and an Indian state and its law and order agencies, giving unnecessarily hype to the militant activities. If 5 people would have killed, they would say 50 people were killed. They were creating chaos and tension among the people. And it was Radio Kashmir there who had to play its strategic role in countering the Pakistani media propaganda that was from coming across the border, and which was more deadlier than any conventional war. So this was, I feel, the major achievement for us, and we have been able to able to get our success in that, in controlling that and bringing the real picture before the people through the programs broadcast over Radio Kashmir and supported by All India Radio Delhi from this side. So it was in this background, my book, as you rightly referred to, Radio Kashmir in Times of Peace, that speaks about the problems and the challenges that a journalist or a media person had to face since 1947. Because it's not a case in 1990 only that he had to face the hostile atmosphere from across the border. Even Pakistan had been doing it against Indian state since 1947. They had some underground radio stations, overground radio stations, speaking against India and trying to flare up the religious sentiment of the people of Kashmir. So the book, as you said, it gives, it's a comprehensive book on that. Even my research work also speaks about that. uh, when and how Indian government had to take the support of Radio Kashmir in maintaining the peace and serenity in Kashmir during the difficult times. Of course, working with Indian armed forces, because they were the persons who were being ill-treated through a particular section of the media, which we needed to curb and control there through our broadcasts. Because a particular section of the media was highlighting the human problems or so-called human abuses of the militants only, but nobody would speak about Indian army and the security forces. So we needed a media setup who could also speak for them. And Radio Kashmir had done a major work and great work in doing the same thing independently, irrespective of the fact. We have been at the same time highlighting the problems of the people there also. So it was the greatest thing we have been able to do, and this is all documented in the book which you have referred. That's Radio Kashmir in Times of Peace and War. So this is a little bit of contribution from my side, which I feel so far nobody must have worked or they must have not thought over it to speak and work in a conflict zone.
Yeah.
It was based on that I had to come to Delhi, in a different and specialized work to do here.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with you because I also follow Kashmir right from the beginning because I also started my career as a
Right,
journalist. And as you understand, the interest of a journalist are varied. So that is how I have been following whatever has been happening in Kashmir, and I remember everything. Whatever, I mean, obviously, you have been working in the conflict zone,
right,
so obviously that's experience is altogether different. But then since 1980s or so, I almost know all the developments which have been happening. I have been, as a journalist, writing also on such issues. But you are completely correct when you say this, that as far as academic work is concerned,
right,
with regard to the status of media, with regard to the challenges which were there before the media, and working in that kind of atmosphere was not an easy thing. Now, as you said that your book is also about Kashmir in the times of peace and war. So if I can ask you that you talked about the things which were I mean, which were during the terrorism period and all. लेकिन जब पीस का टाइम होगा बिकॉज बहुत सारी चीजें
right,
ऐसी हैं कश्मीर के बारे में और रेडियो कश्मीर के बारे में खास तौर से क्योंकि रेडियो जो पूरा ब्रॉडकास्टिंग का सिनेरियो है पूरे देश में लेकिन उसमें तमाम रेडियो स्टेशंस हैं पूरे देश में आकाशवाणी के इतने स्टेशंस हैं बट देन रेडियो कश्मीर स्टैंड्स समवेयर डिस्टिंक्ट राइट फ्रॉम द बिगनिंग
right.
तो पीस टाइम में रेडियो कश्मीर का रोल था अगर आप उसके बारे
Yeah,
में कुछ और
definitely. Radio Kashmir in times of peace जब हम बात करेंगे, it's the only and the premier institutions that has been able to preserve the culture of uh, Kashmir, the region, which is unique in its own way. Bringing those artists is giving them a platform to speak and to sing and to narrate their things. उनकी शायरी को उन्होंने जगह दे दी, प्लेटफॉर्म मिला उनको. Then those those people who are living in farmost area, because it's not India is a country of diverse geography and culture. तो उनकी highlight कर लेना, उनकी issues उठा लेना, they are during times of peace also, I mean to say, then highlighting and their culture and preserving them and bringing them the developmental works or the facilities government of India has initiated for them. So it acted as, it's still acting as a source of information for them, the only source of information for the people who are living in far and hinder areas, like the communities like Gujars and Bakarwals. For them, Radio Kashmir is the only source, only medium, nothing like Facebook or any other social media. They bank upon Radio Kashmir. In times of peace, any information they have to get it, they get it, whether good or bad. It's the Radio Kashmir that has been doing them over the years strategically. It has that significance, as you rightly said, because it's the radio. Radio is so popular even in the present times in Kashmir, for the reasons that people's bank upon it. They need it's strengthening its more signals so that it reaches the person who is at the last post on the border, who listens to it and gets to know what's happening in New Delhi or in other states of India. it, the radio has been doing it in times of peace also.
जी, एक चीज और राजेश जी, हालांकि आपने उसका जिक्र किया कि रेडियो कश्मीर और रेडियो कश्मीर में काम करने वालों को जो प्राइस देनी पड़ी, जो अपना काम करने के लिए जान गंवानी पड़ी, क्योंकि वैसे भी जर्नलिज्म एक मुश्किल प्रोफेशन है, लेकिन हम ज्यादातर ये देखते हैं कि जर्नलिज्म करने वाले जो लोग फील्ड में जाते हैं, दे फेस लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स, आई मीन in different conflicting zones in the entire world. लेकिन रेडियो कश्मीर के अंदर रहते हुए काम करते हुए मिलिटेंट्स के हाथों जिस तरह से जो जो असैसिनेशंस हुए, जिस तरह से जो हत्याएं हुई, अगर उसके बारे में आप कुछ और बता सकें, क्योंकि यंगर जनरेशन feel is hardly aware of all such developments which happened.
Yeah, I would we'll start with एक चीज कि it's, as you rightly said, it's very difficult to work in a conflict zone, and then in an area where people are hostile, and a situation ऐसी बन गई थी कि nobody was even ready to work for Radio Kashmir. But तब भी young and brave people were there, though despite threats to their life, they did the noble job of adopting this profession, or in the peak and in the high risk of militancy threat to their lives. उन्होंने रेडियो का जो ब्रॉडकास्ट है, दे नेवर अलाउड इट टू गेट डाउन या उसको बंद नहीं होने पाया. बारिंग एन इंसिडेंट व्हेन मिस्टर लसकोल वाज किल्ड, बिकॉज वो he wanted to highlight and he was doing a job जो militants के against जाता था. He was being pressurized to speak or transmit a particular news or an announcement to which he did not accede to. So उसका ही खमियाजा भुगतना पड़ा उसको उसको he lost his life. उसके साथ भी हमारी कुछ स्टाफ थे जो न्यूज़ एंकर्स थे या हमारे announcers थे, उनको भी, because their voices were being identified and everybody would know them through their voice. They were so important, मशहूर थे, उनकी आवाज़ से पहचाने जाते थे, आवाज़ की दुनिया में रह के. तो उनको थ्रेट की वजह से दे हैड टू गो ऑफ द माइक फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम. बट डिस्पाइट दैट उन्होंने अपना प्रोफेशन छोड़ा नहीं. कुछ लोगों को जम्मू आना पड़ा, कुछ लोगों को दिल्ली आना पड़ा, वहाँ से इस ट्रांसमिशन को ऑपरेट करते रहे. एंड देन सम वुड गो इन डिसगाइज में दूसरे तरीके से टू रीच रेडियो कश्मीर श्रीनगर वहाँ पे. तो वहाँ से मतलब एक्सट्रीम कंडीशंस में काम करके भी उन्होंने हौसला अपना डाउन नहीं किया था, स्पिरिट उन्होंने अपना डाउन नहीं करने दिया. और जो काम उनको दिया गया था, सौंपा गया था, जिसकी अभी वो खुशी इस वक्त होती होगी इनको, दैट दे मस्ट हैव डन समथिंग इन लाइफ. वो चीज़ एक अचीवमेंट मुझे लगता है जो यंग जर्नलिस्ट इस वक्त आपके साथ जुड़ा हुआ हो, दे मस्ट, एक इंस्पिरेशन है उनके लिए कि जर्नलिज्म बेसिकली हम वी से इट्स एक ग्लैमर है, इसमें सब कुछ है, बट इसमें अपने प्रॉब्लम्स भी हैं. वन हैज टू फेस दैट. और सबसे ज़्यादा आई वुड नॉट एडवाइज, आई वुड सजेस्ट द यंग जनरेशन कि वंस दे आर डूइंग, दे हैव एंटर्ड और दे हैव चोजन दिस प्रोफेशन, दे नीड टू हैव अ बैलेंस्ड अप्रोच टुवर्ड्स इट. कोई एक्सट्रीम थॉट के साथ काम नहीं कर सकते हैं. When a person chooses this profession, he must be independent, not being influenced by any kind of an ideology or any kind of a mindset, an open mindset, clean slate के साथ they should venture and go out and work in that. जिसको हम middle path भी कहते हैं, as Buddha rightly said, we have to follow in life also the middle path. बुद्धा ने इसके बारे में मेंशन किया है. इवन हमारी कश्मीर में ललदेद एक मिस्टिक पोइटस रही है, शैविस poetist hai, she has also referred to the middle path. I would suggest that the people who have chosen this, they should also adopt the middle path, giving all kinds of open, they must be open to ideas from every side. Extremist thoughts se ya koi apni ideology leke, they cannot report. They must be having their own ideology or anything. But when it comes to the reporting or doing some electronic or any kind of a job in field or in print or in electronic media, I feel as a journalist, the young generation, or even for me also, we must keep that aside, my own ideology, because when I report, I must report जो इंडिपेंडेंट जो हो गया है. जैसे मिस्टर स्कॉट है, एक जर्नलिस्ट रहे हैं मैनचेस्टर गार्डियन में 1921 में भी, उसने he has also said that facts are sacred and comment or an opinion is the free, is open. So when we discuss or when we bring facts to the people, we must bring the facts only. So of course taking both sides.
Yeah.
तो एक यंग जनरेशन को मैं यही कहूँगा कि they must not be influenced by anything. इसमें है ग्लैमर, but at the same time we need to keep one thing, that if एक word भी हमारा गलत हो गया while reporting or while speaking anything, that may create havoc in the, because we are after all representing a society, और सोसाइटी में हमें अपनी एक ओपिनियन को दरकिनार करके वो ओपिनियन लानी है जिसको जो किसी चीज से मुतासर नहीं हुई होगी, जिसका किसी पे इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं होगा. So that's my humble suggestion to the young generation who have opted this profession.
Ji. Rajesh, I mean, you refer to one thing that is about propaganda. And I think younger generation will be having little understanding as to what this propaganda war is. Because since 1947, we have been problems with Pakistan, and whether it's Kashmir, whether it's Punjab borders, this problem has been there. Nowadays, obviously, we have internet and all. I mean, technology has changed everything. But at a time when only radio used to be there, even television came much later. So that time, radio was the only instrument, only media tool to take information to the people. And in such a scenario, that these things were happening, that the country, whether India or Pakistan, if they were able to carry their information to the borders of the other country, that had its own significance. Because I have visited once Radio Jalandhar, and there also I discovered this aspect, because I was doing a research study on All India Radio, which was assigned to Information and Broadcasting Ministry, to Indian Institute of Mass Communication. And since I was working in Indian Institute of Mass Communication, IMC, so I was part of that research project, and I went to so many radio stations in the country. So I also visited Radio Jalandhar, and there I discovered this, how much this propaganda is important, which is run, which was countered by Jalandhar radio station, AIR station, to counter the propaganda which was being run by Pakistan from their side.
Right.
So same happened in Kashmir, as you referred to. If you can tell us something more as to what this propaganda is, and how India and Pakistan were indulged in fighting with each other through this propaganda, and how radio stations in India were countering the Pakistani propaganda.
आपने सही कहा कि this propaganda is not confined to only Kashmir, as you must have also observed. जलंधर में भी हो रहा है, इवन हमारी नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट्स में भी हो रहा है, इवन फ्रॉम नेपाल बॉर्डर से भी वी आर फेसिंग द सेम प्रॉब्लम. इवन चाइना हैज ऑफ लेट एंटर्ड इनटू दिस वॉर ऑफ वर्ड्स अगेंस्ट इंडिया. ये जो पहले आपने रेडियो की बात की, अब तो दिस प्रोपेगेंडा जो मशीनरी है, वी हैव नाउ स्विच्ड ओवर टू ट्विटर और एनी अदर जो सोशल मीडिया का जो इंटरनेट का प्रोपेगेंडा है. बट द बेसिक थिंग इज द प्रोपेगेंडा इज गोइंग ऑन. ये है कि दिस इज अ वॉर ऑफ परसेप्शन का है. वी वांट टू शो वी आर ऑन अ हायर साइड, और इस तरह से है. वी बेसिकली इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ जो एक लड़ाई है उसको एक सपोर्ट करने के लिए ये एक और साइकोलॉजिकल वारफेयर है. तो साइकोलॉजिकल वारफेयर में उसमें फैक्ट्स को इस तरह से तोड़ मरोड़ के बयान किया जाता है, या उस चीज़ों को बढ़ाकर चढ़ाकर किया जाता है कि विद इन द नेक्स्ट कंट्री में है, वहाँ पे हैव क्रिएट कंफ्यूजन होता है, क्रैश होता है, लोगों में अफरा तफरी का माहौल जैसा बन जाता है. तो उस चीज़ को बनाने के लिए, फुलफिल करने के लिए रेडियो या किसी और मीडिया का प्रयोग किया जाता है. तो वो चीज़ चल रहा है अभी भी. तो प्रोपेगेंडा में ये काम उस जगह होता है, वह जहाँ पे कल्चरल आइडियोलॉजी एक दोनों मिलती है या रिलीजन मिल जाता है, तो उस चीज को उठाने के लिए, टारगेट करने के लिए, और टू प्ले विद द पैशन ऑफ द people from other side of the border, the countries have been resorting to this thing. I mean, we have seen it the same thing in World War when जो forces against each other थे, they were using like Germany used its radio like anything during Hitler's time. तो वहाँ पे प्रोपेगेंडा में वो किसी भी चीज को बढ़ा चढ़ा कर लेते हैं. We have seen it in Kashmir also in 1947 or 1965 war, that Radio Pakistan, we would call it later Radio Jutistan, for the reason कि ये ऐसी तरह से, इस तरह से खबरें पेश कर रहे थे कि जैसे इंडियन आर्मी कुछ नहीं कर पा रही है, उनका मोरल डाउन करने के लिए उनके लोगों के, उनकी फैमिलीज को टारगेट कर रहे थे. तो वो उस चीज को हम प्रोपेगेंडा कर रहे थे. उसको काउंटर करने के लिए रेडियो को अपना अहम रोल अदा करना पड़ा और कर रहा है. अभी भी ऐसा नहीं कि प्रोपेगेंडा नहीं हो रहा, इट्स स्टिल गोइंग ऑन. बट सिंस यू सेड कि नाउ द गोल पोस्ट हैज चेंज्ड, द प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैव चेंज्ड, तो अभी भी हम इस काम में लगे हैं कि किसी गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट दूसरी गवर्नमेंट कर रही है, बोल रही है, तो दे रिजॉर्ट टू दीज चीप एंड maybe tactful acts on their part. They use this their own medium or media जिसके थ्रू ये प्रोपेगेंडा करते रहे. एक वो चीज है. दूसरा, मिलिटेंट्स या सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस का वो एक माउथ पीस बन जाते हैं. उनको प्रमोट करने के लिए भी दे डू द सेम थिंग. प्रोपेगेंडा का एक मिशनरी होती है. जी सर.
One more thing I would like to ask, I mean, if you can tell us about the present scenario. I mean, when you have talked in your book about war time and peace time,
Right.
but how do you define the present scenario as far as radio is concerned or media functioning is concerned? I mean, what is your observation, or how can you explain the present scenario?
Right now, if you would if we speak about the present scenario, there is a major change now, a vast visible change now. That's post 2019. That's abrogation of Article 370 के बाद. There has been a major change now. जो ये प्रोपेगेंडा भी कम हो गया. इवन प्रोपेगेंडा विदिन जो वैली था, some I would not name some newspapers, they were also doing the same thing. Propaganda from both sides, within the valley and outside the valley. That within the valley wala propaganda, that has started ebbing down now. Kam ho raha hai, khatam ho gaya almost. Because thanks to the present dispensation or whatever the reasons that could be, after abrogation of Article 370, the situation has by and large, it's a considerably a good situation, barring few small incidents which go on that take place day in and day out. But by and large, if you see, there are no demonstrations now, nothing like bullets being fired upon security forces or stone pelting. These things have stopped. And similarly, the media propaganda has also come to, not to halt, but come down considerably. Yeah.
Rajesh, coming, I mean, moving towards the closing or the last session, last segment of the program, I will request the students to please come on camera and ask their questions.
First of all, greeting to one and all present over here. Hello, sir. I welcome you. So, sir, उस टाइम पे आप रेडियो जर्नलिस्ट थे कश्मीर में, उस टाइम पे आपके लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट रहा होगा वर्क करना. जैसे कि इस टाइम पे चीजें बहुत जल्दी मतलब स्प्रेड हो जाती हैं. यहाँ पे होता नहीं है कि वहां तक पहुंच भी जाते हैं. So, sir, I just want to ask something more. So, what are major challenges did you face as a journalist in Kashmir? Sir, I want to know because we never know कि हम दिल्ली में रहते हैं या फिर कहीं और. सो मैं आपसे जानना चाहती हूँ कि challenges क्या आप फेस करते हैं, उस टाइम पे आपने फेस करे एज अ जर्नलिस्ट.
चैलेंजेस वहाँ पे एज ए जर्नलिस्ट जो सबसे ज्यादा है कि वहाँ पे आप जब किसी का वर्शन बोलना चाहते हो तो उसमें थ्रेट परसेप्शन है ज्यादा. अगर इस साइड बैलेंस हम नहीं मेंटेन कर पा रहे हैं, उनका वर्शन अगर हो गया तो उनके अगेंस्ट हो जाएगा. इफ यू स्पीक टू ऑफ ए पर्टिकुलर थिंग, गवर्नमेंट का ज़्यादा फेवर करेंगे तो दूसरा जो पार्टी जिसको मैं कहूँगा वो नाराज़ हो जाएगा। तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। और देन टू गैदर द न्यूज़, आजकल के ज़माने में भी है व्हाट्सएप एंड अदर थिंग्स टू गेट द न्यूज़, वो न्यूज़ भी चाहिए एंड देन वो भी ऑथेंटिक न्यूज़ चाहिए। कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन में वो बड़ा मुश्किल होता है टू गेट एन ऑथेंटिक न्यूज़। उस ऑथेंटिक न्यूज़ के लिए वो सपोर्ट करना चाहिए फ्रॉम ऑफिशियल स्पोक्समैन भी और इंडिपेंडेंट ओपिनियन और जो सोर्सेज है उनके से भी होना चाहिए। सो आई फील दिस इज द मेजर चैलेंज for a journalist even now during this time also, to get the authentic news and then to present it before the masses.
Yeah.
And sir, one more question. Sir, उस टाइम पे आपको threats भी मिलते होंगे
जी
as you are in a journalist, like
जी
journalism.
जी।
So आपको सर threats भी मिलते होंगे उस टाइम पे. So सर आप उन सब चीजों को कैसे handle करते थे?
सच तो मुझे लगता है कि वो जर्नलिस्ट का एक पार्ट है, एक हिस्सा है, काम का है, तो उसमें वो डर की कोई बात नहीं है। वो तो अगर दिल्ली में भी कोई करेगा काम, इन्वेस्टिगेटिव जर्नलिज्म करेगा, इन्वेस्टिगेटिव रिपोर्टिंग करेगा, दे मे आल्सो गेट द सेम काइंड्स ऑफ ए थ्रेट, बट फ्रॉम ए डिफरेंट जो गुंडा एलिमेंट होगा वो चीज़ है। बट दैट डजंट मीन कि हम सत्य को आगे ना बोले या सत्य का राह जो है हमारा, सच का रास्ता है, उसको हम छोड़ दें। थ्रेट्स आते जाते हैं, बट उससे वी शुड नॉट बी वरीड अबाउट दोस थ्रेट्स। वो हिस्सा है, काम का एक हिस्सा है।
Thank you so much sir, and मैं आपसे बहुत ज़्यादा inspire हुई हूँ. And thank you so much sir for
थैंक
coming
यू,
over here and
थैंक
inspiring us. Thank you.
थैंक यू।
Sumedha, you want to ask question?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
गुड
Sir,
आफ्टरनून।
I am Dr. Sumedha Dasmana, assistant professor here. सर जैसा आपने अभी बताया, इतने सालों का एग्जॉस्टिव रिपोर्टिंग, वो भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन में, अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है ये। एंड सर मैं ये जानना चाह रही थी कि आप क्या टिप्स देंगे उन जर्नलिस्ट को जो कि कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन में रिपोर्टिंग करते हैं, तो वो कैसे सेफ रहें इस रिपोर्टिंग को करते करते, एंड हाउ यू हैव बीन थ्रू ऑल दीज स्टेजेस। तो अगर कुछ इस तरीके के टिप्स आप शेयर कर पाएं।
ओनली जो मैं फिर से आई विल रिपीट द सेम थिंग, एक बैलेंस्ड अप्रोच होना चाहिए लाइफ में भी और रिपोर्टिंग में भी। तो जो बैलेंस जो आदमी जो है उसकी से विजन भी है, उससे नॉलेज भी बन जाती है, एंड दैट लीड्स टू कामनेस एंड एनलाइटमेंट। वो टिप सबसे बड़ा है कि एक बैलेंस्ड अप्रोच हो के आदमी काम करे, दोनों इश्यूज को उठा के बड़े तरीके से सलीके से रिपोर्टिंग करेंगे। वो एक बहुत बड़ा टिप है लाइफ में भी और रिपोर्टिंग में।
So moving on, Vishnu Das, you want to ask question?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. I'm Vishnu Das from DME first batch. Thank you for coming here. I want to ask you a question about that, sir. In this, when you get threats over during your media, I mean your reporting times, you as you said that you will do in a calm way, but sir, in that hectic situation, is it possible to do, because there is a lot of things around you, so and especially in that Kashmir sort of place,
जी
is it not little bit tough to do, because
वही
there is
वही
a lot of problem.
वही दैट स्पीक्स द क्वालिटी ऑफ ए पर्सन। आप वो काम रहे, मेंटेन रहे, चाहे वो कोई भी काम में रहे, काम कर रहा हो, ये उसको मेंटेन अगर रखिए तो वही चीज बड़ा है। आपने वर्ल्ड कप के मैच अभी भी देख रहे होंगे आप, तो एंड वाले ओवर्स में भी अगर बैट्समैन काम अपना लूज करेगा, ही विल लूज द मैच। इसी तरह से ये चीज है, इफ आई विल और अ पर्सन और अ जर्नलिस्ट विल लूज द काम, ही विल लूज द स्टोरी।
Jasmeet Singh is also there to ask question. Jasmeet, ask your question.
Hello, sir. My name is Janmeet Singh. Sir, my question to you is, sir, can banning internet in Kashmir can really solve the problem?
इंटरनेट इज बीइंग, वो बैन तो नहीं है, बट जब कहीं पे भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, इंटरनेट को हम स्टॉप करते हैं फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर टाइम। दिल्ली में भी हमने देखा है, जब रिसेंटली राइट्स हो गए, या नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भी होते हैं। इट्स नॉट कन्फाइंड टू ओनली कश्मीर के इंटरनेट को कभी कभी हम बैन कर रहे हैं। इंटरनेट बैन करने से नहीं, जो उससे थ्रू मैसेजेस पास ऑन हो जाते हैं, दैट इज अ वेरी कंसर्न। बैनिंग इंटरनेट इज नॉट एन इशू। तो सोशल मीडिया जो जिसके थ्रू हम आगे बढ़ाते हैं, वेनम स्प्रेड करते हैं या फर्दर मैसेजेस बढ़ाते हैं, उनको बैन कर दिया जाता है पर्टिकुलर टाइम के लिए, सो दैट माहौल को फर्दर एग्रीवेट ना हो जाए, खराब हो जाए। और जो रूमर मॉन्गरिंग सबसे ज़्यादा चलती है, चाहे वो कश्मीर में हो, चाहे दिल्ली में हो या कहीं पे भी हो, उस पर्टिकुलर एरिया में पर्टिकुलर वक्त के लिए इंटरनेट को बंद किया जाता है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर कहीं खराब ना हो जाए।
जी।
Thank you, sir.
So moving on to the last question of the program, Ashish Chatterjee is with us. Ashish ji, please ask your question.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। सर मुझे सिर्फ इतना पूछना है कि रेडियो कश्मीर आपने जैसे बोला है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वो थ्रेट्स के उस पर काम किया है। सो मुझे सिर्फ पता करना है कि अभी जो है, अभी वहाँ पे यूथ का पार्टिसिपेशन कितना है इन रेडियो कश्मीर? आर यूथ कमिंग फॉरवर्ड टू?
या डेफिनेटली पूरी तरह से यूथ प्रोग्राम्स हैं रेडियो कश्मीर से अभी भी ब्रॉडकास्ट होते हैं, वो अच्छी तरह से उनका पार्टिसिपेशन है। दे हैव अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ अ विजन और अच्छा फर्स्ट क्लास है, प्रोग्रेसिव है, अब बन रहे हैं लोग। इवन हमने देखा ओवर द इयर्स आईएएस में पीपल यूथ ऑफ कश्मीर दे आर ज्वाइनिंग आईएएस, इंडियन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सर्विसेज ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। तो यूथ का एक बड़ा योगदान है अभी भी, एंड दे आर रियली बीइंग benefited by the programs being broadcast by Radio Kashmir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so moving on towards the closer of this program, I'm really grateful to you, Dr. Rajesh Bhat, to be with us and to spare so much time, because I mean, 2-3 things are important, and then you could see the kind of interest which was there among the teachers and the students, because Kashmir is an issue which everybody feels for. And everybody is eager to know what exactly was happening or is happening, and is there a solution, and what kind of solutions are there. So obviously everybody empathize with whatever is happening, and everybody is eager to know. And you have tried your best to quench everybody's thirst to know as to what exactly is happening on the ground in Kashmir. And when if I'm asked to summarize this, 2-3 very important things you said, because this whole audience is comprised of media educators and students, as to what exactly is the profession of journalism. And you very I mean, very straight way you explained is that this is a profession which is always involving threats and the glamour quotient, because normally in today's time when people enter the media industry or try to get into media education to think that they will be getting some great jobs and great salaries, then but it is a profession which is full of challenges. So one has to be ready for those challenges. This is an eye-opener thing which you did for us, for the DAV Media School, because now there will be more clarity in the minds of the students as to what kind of media sector is this and what kind of profession journalism is. And another welcome thing that you said, you talked about the middle path. And you also talked about working with unbiased approach, with an open mind, which is again very necessary to tell the student that whatever their ideologies might be there, they have to have a middle path, they have to have a balanced approach. Incidentally, I mean, the new batch has very recently joined DME, and we had a very long orientation or induction program wherein we invited many distinguished media personalities. And Sumit Avasthi, which is a known name in TV news, he also exactly enforced this particular aspect, that one has to have an open mind, and he asked the student to look at everything with an open mind, and the things will become easy, and you will be able to do justice. You will also reduce pressures on you if there are like as you worked in the conflict zone, so those kind of pressures will be reduced, because you're not taking sides, you're not this side or that side, whatever you feel is correct. And as you said, if I quote you, whatever is the truth, so you are doing that job as a journalist to bring truth for your audience. So I'm really thankful to you that you inspired, you clarified their doubts, the concepts, and obviously this is something which is the need of the hour in today's political scenario, in today's geopolitical situations in the world, in the midst of the problem that we all face from fake news and all. So in the light of all this, the responsibility of a journalist increases manifold. So whatever you told this young audience, I think it will go a long way in guiding them, in motivating them and leading them to learn the journalism profession, the media sector in a better way. Thank you very much, Rajesh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm honored, sir. Thank you.
The first impression that comes to our mind about any college: tall buildings, big classrooms, large lobby areas, thick books, IT labs, assignments, class tests, and projects. Nothing besides that. Every hour, minute, second spent here help us carving and shaping our persona, cultivating innovative mindsets for the challenging world. Learning is a lifelong process. Sharing knowledge, inculcating values of life, spark the innovative horizons of mind. Fun and frolic is the nature of every nook and corner here. A daily dose of thrill we are sure to get here.